Kobbie Mainoo has signed a new contract at Manchester United that will keep him at the club until 2031, bringing an end to months of uncertainty over his future. The 21-year-old midfielder, who joined United's academy in 2014, has already made 98 appearances for the club, scoring the decisive goal in the 2024 FA Cup final and representing England in the Euro 2024 final.
Instagram announced on Thursday that accounts that regularly repost content they didn't create or primarily share other people's work as photos and carousels will no longer be eligible for recommendations across the app. The Meta-owned platform says the idea behind the change is to ensure creators of original content get the credit and distribution they deserve. It's worth noting that these protections were already in place for Reels and are now being applied to photos and carousels, which are the posts that feature a collection of images and videos in a swipeable format.
Meta doesn't come up much in discussions of the top AI products these days, but its products are still benefiting from the ongoing surge of interest in the technology. The company's business AI tools facilitated about 10 million conversations per week as of late March, up from 1 million in the beginning of this year, Meta said during its first quarter conference call on Wednesday. The growth comes as the company recently expanded the beta program of its business AI assistant in the US, EMEA, APAC and LATAM.
Dubai has updated its property-linked residency visa rules, introducing more flexible eligibility conditions for the 2-year investor visa aimed at attracting real estate buyers and long-term investors. The revised framework, published via the Cube Center affiliated with the Dubai Land Department, removes the previous minimum property value requirement for sole property owners. Anthropic has reportedly received multiple unsolicited offers for a new funding round that could value the company between $850 billion and $900 billion. According to people familiar with the matter, investors have proposed raising around $40 billion to $50 billion for the company, reflecting strong demand to invest in the maker of the Claude platform.
And a Senate Standing Committee on IT and Telecom meeting on Thursday was dominated by concerns about Starlink and satellite internet services, as the federal government has so far failed to notify a sensible timeline for allowing or launching such services in Pakistan. And meanwhile, the Pakistan Telecommunication Authority, PTA Chairman Hafiz-ur Rehman, clarified that any satellite internet provider, including Starlink, and must first register with the Pakistan Space Activities Regulatory Board, PSRB, before applying for a license to operate in the country. And the Ministry of Education has confirmed the midterm and Eid al-Adha break for students, teachers and administrative staff, setting the holiday from May 25 to May 29. The announcement, reported by Al Bayan, follows approval of the academic calendar for the remainder of the school year. And Islamabad. Human rights lawyers Ayman Zainab Mazari Hazir and her husband Hadi Ali Chatha on Thursday approached the Supreme Court (SC) and, seeking an early hearing of their appeals against their conviction under the Prevention of Electronic Crimes Act (PICA) in the controversial social media posts case. On January 24th, and a Sessions Court had sentenced Iman and Hadi to a total of 17 years in prison on multiple charges in the case. The lawyer duo were sentenced to 10 years imprisonment under Section 10, cyber terrorism, and 5 years imprisonment under Section 9, glorification of an offence, and 2 years imprisonment under Section 26A, false and fake information of PECA.
Rice supply is expected to fall this year as farmers cut planting acreage across Asia because of fertilizer shortages and soaring fuel costs from the Iran war, with an emerging El Niño also set to squeeze output of the world's most consumed staple. Rice is central to global food security, and even modest supply disruptions can ripple through countries, lifting prices and straining household budgets. particularly among price-sensitive consumers in Asia and Africa.
Islamabad. The government on Thursday slashed the delivery time for ordinary passports from 21 days to 14 days and ordered all passport offices to go fully cashless within 15 days. The decisions were taken at a high-level meeting chaired by Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi and Minister of State for Interior Talal Chaudhry in Islamabad.
And warning for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander readers. This article contains references to someone who has died. Police believe they have found the body of a 5-year-old girl allegedly abducted from her outback home as a search for her suspected murderer continues. And China will ban the sale of drones in Beijing and require permits to fly them under new rules that take effect on Friday. Drones and key components will be prohibited from being sold, rented, or brought into the Chinese capital. Drone owners will also be required to register their devices with the police. And the US is studying whether to reduce the thousands of troops it has stationed in Germany. President Donald Trump has announced via social media. His remarks came days after German Chancellor Friedrich Merz criticized his approach to the war in Iran, suggesting that US had been humiliated by Iranian negotiators. And a commercial passenger plane will take off from the US to Venezuela on Thursday morning for the first time in nearly 7 years, and as the countries continue to restore economic ties. Following the ouster of Venezuela's strongman leader in January, the inaugural American Airlines flight will last just under 3.5 hours, and departing from Miami to Caracas on Thursday at 10:16 a.m. ET, before landing at Simon Bolivar International Airport at 1:36 p.m. local time. It is scheduled to return to Miami later that afternoon.
A tentative schedule has been revealed for Pakistan's upcoming home ODI series against the Australia cricket team, with all matches likely to be held at Gaddafi Stadium, sources told. The proposed plan includes a 3-match series, marking another major international assignment on home soil for the Pakistan national cricket team. The National Assembly Standing Committee on Finance has approved 2 key government bills, including the Netting of Financial Arrangements Bill 2025 and amendments to the Fiscal Responsibility and Debt Limitation Act. In a meeting chaired by Naveed Kumar, the Netting of Financial Arrangements Bill 2025 will apply to agreements between banks and the corporate sector, allowing parties to settle mutual obligations by adjusting outstanding amounts. Officials from the State Bank of Pakistan told the committee that the law will enable structured agreements for loan settlement and improve financial efficiency.
And the Sindh School Education and Literacy Department has approved the publication of 3 religious books for Hindu students studying in public schools across the province for the academic year 2026-27. And the decision was taken following a meeting of the Executive Committee of the Sindh Curriculum Council held on April 20, 2026. According to the notification, and the Sindh Textbook Board, STBB, does not have a financial budget available for the publication of religious books for the current academic year. And Airblue has announced new hiring for cabin crew positions in Islamabad, inviting applications from aspiring candidates seeking careers in the aviation sector. According to the official announcement, applications are open for a limited time, with the deadline set for May 3, 2026.
Lahore, an anti-corruption court on Thursday granted interim pre-arrest bail of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's daughter Rabia Imran and her husband Ali Imran Yousaf in a case of alleged irregularities in the Punjab Saaf Pani Company, PSPC. The couple appeared before the court where Judge Javed Iqbal Warich presided over the proceedings.
And Karachi. The Sindh Education and Literacy Department is set to introduce religious textbooks for Hindu students to be taught in grades 3 to 5 across government schools in Sindh. it emerged on Thursday. And in a letter dated April 29 to the chairman of the Sindh Textbook Board, STBB, the Education Department requested the distribution of 3 religious books for grades 3 to V for the current academic year 2026-27, and referring to a decision taken at a meeting of the Executive Committee of the Sindh Curriculum Council on April 20. And freedom of the press around the world has fallen to its lowest level in a quarter of a century, according to the leading Paris-based press freedom NGO, or Reporters Sans Frontières Without Borders. Every year, RSF publishes a World Press Freedom Index used to compare the level of freedom enjoyed by journalists and media outlets in 180 countries. Its ranking uses a 5-point scale to ranging from very serious to freedom, ranging from very serious to good.
When cleanup volunteer Sergei Solovev arrived in the town of Tuapse on Russia's Black Sea coast, an unpleasant odour hung in the air and everything was coated in a layer of black grime. I saw train carriages covered in residue from the black rain and animals. It's all very toxic, he told Al Jazeera, and the smell was oily. Gaza City, Gaza Strip. On a mattress placed on the floor of a half-destroyed apartment, Duha Abu Youssef sits holding her newborn baby with great difficulty after an emergency caesarean section was performed following her arrival at a hospital the night before. Abu Youssef, 24, who had entered her 9th month of pregnancy just a few days earlier, had hoped for a natural birth for her first child and to complete her final month of pregnancy. Beirut, Lebanon, on April 8th, Ahmed Hamdi, 22, was sitting on his couch at home in Beirut's Talit El Kayat neighbourhood, hours after Israel had launched more than 100 attacks in under 10 minutes across Lebanon. Then he heard the indescribable sound of a rocket. Ahmed jumped off the couch as the glass in his building shattered around him before more rockets hit.
The Federal Board of Intermediate and Secondary Education has announced a new schedule for secondary school certificate, SSC exams at overseas centres, resuming examinations that were earlier postponed. The board said SSC Part-I annual examinations 2026 will now commence from May 5 in the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait and Bahrain.
And authorities in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, KP, have installed panic buttons at 68 locations across Peshawar under the Safe City project to improve emergency response and help citizens contact police without delay. And, according to an official statement, the panic buttons are directly linked to the Safe City headquarters and come equipped with both audio and video communication features. And this will allow citizens to report emergencies on the spot while enabling authorities to assess the situation in real time. And Edifier has introduced the Edifier Lolly 5 ANC in China as its new flagship true wireless earbuds. The model will be available for about $78, though there is no word on an international launch yet.
All education boards across Punjab, including the Board of Intermediate and Secondary Education Lahore, have announced the registration schedule for the 9th grade annual examinations for 2027. According to the official notification, the deadline for regular students enrolled in educational institutions to complete their registration is June 8. Uganda's army chief Muhoozi Kainerugaba has made another bizarre claim that a recent DNA test showed he is partly Greek and related to the ancient Macedonian conqueror Alexander the Great. Posting on X, the general said genetic testing revealed he is 14% Greek, which confirmed his belief that he shared ancestry with the famed Macedonian ruler.
Islamabad. Counsel for former Prime Minister Imran Khan on Thursday urged the Islamabad High Court, IHC, to consider his client's release on humanitarian and compassionate grounds, citing prolonged solitary confinement and an eye infection. Defense counsel Salman Safdar's request came as the IHC took up file by Imran and his spouse, Bushra Bibi, against their conviction in the $190 million corruption reference.